What's up, everybody? Just getting back to Florida from the last stop of the Bassmaster Open Series at La Crosse, Wisconsin, Leech Lake. And I wanted to just kind of go over with you a couple baits that I was using because they were absolutely phenomenal. Caught tons and tons of fish every day, tons of keepers. Pretty simple setup. I know you've been seeing a few videos that I've been posting of the setting the hook in reeds or around docks. All of it was really, really simple. It was just a 1/2 ounce green pumpkin Ballin Out jig by Buckeye, and just using a Yamamoto. This is actually the small Yamamoto on the back and dipping the tips of chartreuse. Keeping a green pumpkin. I'm sure they ate black and blue as well because the water was dingy in a couple places just because of wind and current. But man, they ate the snot out of this bait. So used it an absolute lot. The second thing I used, didn't know if I was allowed to talk about it yet, but it has been released. I caught absolutely a ton of fish, and I'm going to show you a close-up of this bait in a second. But this is the new Sungill color by Yamamoto. Anytime I'm up north, whether it's in New York or I'm in Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, anything like that, I love the color Sungill. I always have my entire career. So when I saw Yamamoto come out with Sungill here a couple weeks ago, I immediately called them and I said, hey, whatever I got to do, please send me some. So I actually expedited shipping to make sure I had those for that particular tournament. So the rod setup was absolutely the same on both. I used the Phoenix MBX Ultra, 7 foot heavy. It's got a nice fast parabolic tip. I use it for a lot. You know, if I'm trying to rip chatterbaits and things like that, or flipping a jig, throwing a jig, light flipping, things like that, that 7 foot heavy MBX Ultra is an absolute win in my book. And I used it for everything. Flipping, light punching, and flipping that jig into the reeds and around docks and things like that. So 14-pound Sunlight Sniper, not too heavy, not light either. That 14-pound, you could pull a Buick through a mat if you needed to. Luckily, I didn't have to do that. It was more just kind of set the hook, let the fish run around. So I'll show you some close-ups now of some of the baits, and you can check those out at baits.com. Every bait that I talked to you about can be purchased at baits.com, and that's the new Sungill Senkos and the Ballin Out 1/2 ounce G-Man Ballin Out jig, and then the small Yamamoto. So check it out.